Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. My name is Scrolls, and welcome back to another episode of Back to the Roots here on our Let's Play world. We're on episode 5, guys, and today we are going to make significant progress on our house. I know I keep saying it, but I truly mean it this episode. Last episode, we tried to build a wall and hated it, and I ended up tearing it down off camera. So we're going to do that today, and it's going to be great. We do need to go get a lot of copper, so we're going to go mining in just a second. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. You guys will get uploads like this fairly often. Plus, I plan on doing a little series on data packs pretty soon. So if you're interested in coding at all and you guys just want to see some cool data pack stuff, make sure you guys subscribe. And with that being said, guys, let's jump right into it. Before we start working on the house, guys, I just stopped by the XP farm just to repair our tools and our armor, and then I'm going to do a quick material gathering session. I believe there's a trial chamber somewhere in this cave, so I'm going to try to find that. That way we can harvest all the copper since we need it so much in these builds. But I'm just repairing these tools real quick, and then we will get right to it. I knew there was a trial chamber down here. We even mined into it last time. We just didn't actually explore it because I've never really explored one of these. We're going to take these hoppers. Actually, we don't necessarily need them, but they're good to have. A water bucket, that's always nice. I'm going to explore this a little bit while I mine out the copper just because I've never really explored a trial chamber. This is going to be really interesting for me, and I hope that you guys enjoy me getting my genuine reaction to most of this stuff. But I've seen it before, so it's not the craziest thing. I've just never experienced one myself. I've just seen it in YouTube videos. But there is so much copper here, so it is perfect for us and exactly what we need. We're going to harvest every bit of copper that we can. If we have to, we'll make chests and make multiple trips. But I'm going to go ahead and start grinding out this copper. I'll bring you guys back if anything interesting happens. I want to be careful here. I don't want to die. I would not be in a good position to get all my stuff back because it's a little hard to get down here, I think. I don't really remember the way exactly. I just know that it's not a straightforward path. So I want to be careful when I'm down here trying to kill all of these things. I do need to kill all of them because they will just keep spawning until I do. Like this one, release some keys, but this one still has a few mobs that I need to kill. Oh, there's another baby zombie. Kill that. I heard some more drop. Okay, we got an actual key this time. Oh, I hear a breeze. There it is. Kill this guy. Hopefully we hear the key go off. I feel like that's it going off. Let's go check. Sweet. Now, we do have bad omen potions at our base that we can grab. And we can use them for these guys. We can get some really good loot if we use those and we are successful in killing every mob. But for now, we're here for copper, so we're going to continue our copper grind. So as you guys just saw, I went ahead and ripped out all this copper, and we have as much as we probably need for today and for at least quite a while. We ripped out this whole section here. Obviously, we left the spawners, and then these as well, just because I can't really carry them. But the trial chamber does have more areas to be explored, so we didn't get rid of all the copper, and we can come back here and harvest more. We still have this whole upper level, as well as, like I said, there's other parts of the trial chamber this way, and there's another opening over there. So I think we're pretty good on copper today, guys. I'm going to go ahead and grab some logs, and then we will start building. Alrighty, we are back from the trial chamber, guys, and here is all the copper materials we ended up getting. We got a few trial keys, some breeze rods, and a water bucket, weirdly enough, but we got so many different types of copper blocks, which is amazing because we'll just need it in so many places in this build. Maybe not today exactly, but we'll just need it in general. I also went ahead and did a layout of the house and kind of how I'm visualizing it in my head, where this red box is kind of like the living room area, if you will. This will probably be like more of the kitchen area, and this will be the bedroom here. And the reason that this blue box is so tall is because I just visually want everyone to realize that I want this to kind of stick up above the house, and then this is going to be a little bit shorter. There will probably be a second floor to this room as well, but I want this still to be taller than that and kind of have a very interesting look to it. So let's go ahead and start doing the roof. I have this idea that I think will look really nice using these stripped oak logs and alternating between that and these oak slabs here. And then at the end, I think maybe we'll even put some stairs just to kind of blend it in with the rest. So if you will, we'll go ahead and actually remove this just so you guys can get a quick idea of what I'm thinking. Something like that, and then obviously more oak logs here. And kind of do that across the whole area this way. I just put cobblestone here just so I could actually build each one. So let's go ahead and just add all of the oak logs real quick, and then we'll go in and add the slabs. Alrighty, guys. So we went ahead and finished the roof here. I actually really like it. I just put some planks in this room for now since it's a little bit different. I want to separate the rooms a little bit just so they're not just the same thing across the board. And I really like how that looks. I also don't know if you guys noticed, but I did change out the flooring inside the house to be these oak planks instead of the spruce that we have on the outside. I think we just had a lot of spruce and it didn't really look all that great, so I just wanted to switch it up. And I think this actually works really well. I think the tones work really nicely, at least currently. Obviously, we have to add our walls, which will definitely come at some point. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave them open concept, if you will. The next thing I want to do is build a staircase up to this floor here. Now, to me, steampunk is very compact and very, like, kind of weird in general. So I'm trying to come up with an interesting way to do this. I'm thinking a really tight staircase like this, all the way up to here, essentially. And I think that could actually look pretty good. Obviously, we would rotate the stair to be like that. But I think something like that could be kind of interesting just because I think steampunk is like kind of meant to be quirky and a little odd. So I'm going to try to play with the staircase here and work on that. And then I want to add some decorations to the build. But overall, guys, I think it's coming together pretty nicely. So I changed my mind about the staircase, guys. I think I actually want to do a player launcher right here instead. I think that will look a lot better. Now, I don't really have the materials for that, so let's go gather them real quickly. I need some slime, I need a skulk sensor, and then I need some obsidian as well. I could use leaves, but I didn't really like how it looked. So we're going to go get that real quick, and I'll be right back, guys. We just got back from gathering all those materials, guys, and here's everything we ended up getting. So let's go ahead and get this player launcher built, and it's not going to be too difficult or take too long at all. Like I said, I played in a creative world a little bit just to figure out how these work, because I've never really built one before, and it's really straightforward. All it is a sticky piston, a slime block, some block that doesn't stick to the slime block. In this case, I'm going to use obsidian just because I think it looks the nicest. Another block for when it comes up to make sure it doesn't stick to that either. So we have to break this piece of wood here. We're going to use a beehive because it looks pretty close to the wood planks. And we might just mix some of them in here just to make it look a little bit less obvious. And we're going to go back down here, add another piece of obsidian because we don't want it to grab and we want to be able to not see through it since slime blocks are translucent. And all we have to do now, guys, is hook up some redstone to it. Let's do a little quick test just to make sure everything is working correctly and we have the right height for everything. If I'm correct, this should just put us right at the edge, and we should just barely make it up to our second floor. And it works perfectly. Now, we are going to hook this up to a note block real quick. So let's go ahead and do that. I went ahead and grabbed a gold block here because I think that will make a bell sound. So let's go ahead and do that as well. Let's test it. That sounds great. I think it's a perfect bell that will launch us right in the air. Now all we have to do is calibrate the skulk sensor, which actually is going to be really easy. So we're going to put a skulk sensor here. We're going to take the lectern. Actually, that needs to go one block towards me. We actually should flip this. I just realized I'm being silly. Let's do that. So it's going to be skulk sensor. It's going to be the lectern, the book. It should be page 10. Great. And then we need a comparator, which I think is just that. Perfect. And now all we need to do is hook it up to the actual piston, which is not right there. It's right here. And that should do it. And now every time we punch this note block, it should push us up. Let's test it out real quick. Beautiful, guys. And now we just drop down here. And that's perfect. Now, the only thing left to do is actually waterlog this block because I don't want to hear the skulk sensor every time it goes off. I think it's kind of annoying. So let's try this again. Make sure we don't hear it. Beautiful, guys. Now, the only thing left is to add a little casing here. Currently, we're just going to use copper grates. We'll probably change it in the future to something better, but I think this will work for now. And then we'll add an exterior at some point as well. But like I said, this is just temporary. This is just so we don't fall off the back of it whenever we hit this block. Perfect. It looks beautiful. I'm honestly really happy we switched from stairs to a player launcher. I think it's really quirky and a little unique, and it's way more fun than stairs, which fits that steampunk style that I really want to go for. And we'll probably add a few more of these to the base at some point just to get up and down from places. I think they're really cool. And we might even just add them in the surrounding areas when we build up there or just around. Maybe that's how we get up the mountain. I'm not really too sure. I also know wind charges are something you can use to do this with. I know that they shoot like 100 blocks in the air if you use multiple of them. So we might use that for some crazy like airship or something around here. I think that could be pretty cool as well. But I think for now, guys, we're going to start working on the bedroom and maybe actually do some walls finally. Real quick, before we start on the room, guys, I just realized all the levers in here and doors are going to activate the player launcher, which is something we definitely don't want. So like that. And so what I think we can do is actually just dampen it with wool. And I think it's pretty straightforward. We just cover the skulk sensor with some wool and the vibration shouldn't be able to get through. I don't know how much wool I actually need. So we're just going to go ahead and just cover up everything except these two blocks, since I think everything else should be cut off from that. Let's just test it with the lever, since that's the only one that really makes sense. And then we'll test it again with this. No. Any of the doors activated? No. What about this one? Nope. And no. Perfect. I think that's exactly what we needed. Now we have a player launcher that will not be activated by anything else. I went ahead and removed the deep slate here at the bottom just so we have a nice clean canvas for this wall. And I was playing in creative mode for quite a while, just coming up with something that I really liked. And I think I found something. So let's go ahead and try to build it. Now, my goal is to go from a light wood to a dark wood. So we're starting with birch and we're going to end up with spruce at the top. So let's go ahead and try to build that real quick. It was these stripped logs here, and then we did a plank in the corner, another log there, and then a oak plank there. And I think that looks pretty good. Obviously, ignore the white wool. That will be something different. Probably some form of deep slate in these corners here, just to kind of contrast with this. And I think that will look really good. And let's go ahead and add a window. And the way I was doing that in my creative world was using these copper trap doors, which I think looks amazing. I also went ahead and added a little planter. So let's go ahead and do that, which I think also looks pretty good. And I wanted to use a cactus flower, but obviously I don't have one of those. There's no cactus or desert really near me. So we're just going to use tall grass as a placeholder for now. And let's take a look, guys. Let's see how this looks. I think this will look pretty good. Obviously, you're going to have to imagine the white wool not there. But I'm overall really happy with this. And I think this is what we're going to try to do for all the walls. Some kind of mixture of this light to dark. Because once we add the copper, I think it will accent it pretty well. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of this white wool and start replacing the blocks. As you guys just saw, I went ahead and replaced the white wool with this deep slate trim, and I think it looks really good, honestly. If you guys remember, we're trying to do a little bit of a light to dark gradient here with this birch log to the spruce up here, but we're also trying to match that with this deep slate block palette that we have going on. So as you guys can see, the cobble deep slate's just a little bit lighter than polished. Then we have the brick, cracked brick, and then tile. And on this side, it's polished brick, cracked brick, tile, tile. And it just looks overall really good in my opinion. Now, admittedly, the top of the wall here feels a little bit bare, and I probably will add some decorations to that. I'm just not quite sure what we want to do yet, since we might move this blue box towards us a little bit, or we're just going to put a roof here. I'm not quite sure, but I'm glad it looks really good. It matches the base of the house, so I'm overall really happy with this, guys. Obviously, we still have to do this left and right wall at some point, but I think we're going to take a quick break from building just because we're running pretty low on food and we don't have a great farm situation. So breeding cows or any of the animals and killing them is not super efficient. And since we have a villager breeder, we might as well just get golden carrots. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up real quick. Now that we have our little enclosure, all we need is our villager here. So we'll grab him. He should get the farming profession real quick. Great. And then we will go ahead, go here. We have to actually connect this, which I don't have any rails. So let's go grab those real quick. Now all we have to do is actually just extend the track to where he needs to go, which is not there. It is right here. We need to trade with him a little. Let's go ahead and give him some emeralds for bread. Now, this is not a good deal, but we can use this to breed more villagers, so it's fine. So let's go ahead and push him in. We're going to take his composter so he doesn't change. Go into here, break that. Oops, not the mud. Where'd our mud go? Put our packed mud back, composter, and we have our farming villager. We can break that. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Now all we have to do is trade with them to get golden carrots. Now that we have our golden carrots, let's actually go ahead and do a little bit more on the house and kind of the surrounding areas here. I would like to fill in this hole and maybe add a little bit of something here because it's just kind of really empty and I don't love it. But let's go ahead and actually put these back to what we want, and then we'll wax them so they don't age anymore. I think that looks great, and honestly, we'll probably use this kind of copper a lot in a build. I know that these grates are just like the normal copper, and they're aging slowly. We haven't waxed them or anything, but we're going to probably change that out for something else later. But overall, I'm really happy with how this is looking, guys, and let's go ahead and fill in this hole here and maybe add some sort of structure around here just so it's not so flat and kind of bare. And maybe we can add a staircase leading up the mountain. I'm not really too sure. Or we'll do something with another portal. I'm not quite sure yet, but let's go ahead and fill in this hole. That is so much better, guys. There's actually so much more space now in front of the house to actually do something. We probably want to add a path to the stairs at some point, but we're going to also need to add a path upwards. I think something we could do is actually add some decorations to the inside of the bedroom because right now it's pretty empty. And I have these beehives, which I think would actually look pretty good as like a little nightstand thing. Maybe we can put a pot on that or something. And maybe we can do like a barrel or something like that on the other side. I feel like that looks pretty good. And eventually we'll add some shelves. Maybe we can do like, ooh, that might be too low. I don't have a lantern on me or anything. So I could get one of those maybe real quick and add that. We have a torch and I have coppers, so we can just go ahead and make one real quick just to see what that looks like. And also something I completely forgot that we're playing on the new version that has copper golems. So we might actually add a few of those around our base. How's that? I feel like that's a little too low, guys. Probably way too low, honestly. So maybe we just add that on top of here for now. No, not right there. I can't place anything. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't know why I crouched. I feel like that actually looks fine, right? Like a little nightlight type of thing. And so far, this is coming together pretty nicely. Overall, I'm really happy with the base. And I think let's go ahead and try to maybe make like a little path or something. I think we'll want it to come like from this way. Obviously, we're going to replace the path blocks with something later, but just for now. And then we can have like the stairs like lead to here and then it goes up the mountain. Something like that I think could be kind of cool. And then we have all that space right in front to build something. With the last few minutes here, guys, I'm just going ahead, heading up the mountain and clearing out all these trees here just because we know we want to build up here eventually. And so we might as well just clear it out while we can. And that way we have a clean working area whenever we do start working on the trail up here. Unfortunately for me, that means just clearing out a lot of these trees, which is not really a fun time, but it's not too bad either now that we have some good tools. And honestly, guys, the only downside about living in a jungle is having to clear down these trees. I could also light them on fire. That just seems a little bit risky. I'm going to do this one later. That's just a big tree. But doing all this work now will save us time in the future, so I don't really mind doing it, especially since we will need it cleared out no matter what. And honestly, guys, it's already looking so much more clear now that they're decaying and all the logs are gone. That is honestly looking so much better. And it's honestly good to know that we have to terraform a little bit here. There's like a little flat area. We might do something cool with that, but we'll probably terraform it to just flow a little bit better up and down this mountain. And we have a little bit of work still to do on the back of the house here. I forgot that this is exposed, so I'll do that off camera probably. But we are at the end of the episode, guys. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you guys like and subscribe. It helps me know that you guys really like the content. Plus, you'll get new episodes every week and maybe some new content pretty soon. So keep your eye open for that. And with that being said, guys, peace.